Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose, and this is my review for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That's right, Marvel's newest movie, so all the Marvel fans, including myself, get all excited, get a little giddy at the prospect of a new Marvel movie every few months. And I know a couple of months ago, I know myself, and particularly a lot of people I've spoken to who were kind of disappointed or underwhelmed by Black Widow. And to that, I'll say this right now: this is a much better film by Marvel, so that should put a lot of smiles on a lot of Marvel fans' faces out there, including mine. Now, of course, Shang-Chi here, it's a character which most people probably don't know about. The casual fan has no idea who this is, myself included. Little bit about the comic, but not, I'm not familiar with the lore, the mythos of this character, and that's fine here. Of course, Shang-Chi, his father, who's known as known here in the movie partly as the Mandarin, who's a character very popular in the comics, and his father who's he's got these rings around his wrist that gives him this power, and he creates more power, and he lives forever, and all that, etc., etc. And I won't get too much into the story, not to spoil anything, but Shang-Chi, some things occur that force him to leave, or he decides to leave and be on his own. And then, of course, the circumstances which draw him back, along with his sister and a friend of his, played by, of course, Aquafina, who is great. I love Aquafina. She can do comedy. I've seen her like in the Farewell do drama. She's very talented. She's getting her due. Good for her. And she brings a lot of energy to the film. A lot of the humor comes with her, from her, and her interaction with Simu Liu, if I'm saying his name right, who plays Shang-Chi. They're really good together, and that's a good thing because they share a lot of screen time. So I really like them a lot. And again, there's a lot to like about this film. Not a perfect film, but it's a lot of things to like about it. And a couple of things that really stand out are like the way this, I guess, the feel and the vibe of the film. I mean, like, listen, this is a Marvel film, right? And they all follow a certain formula, which I get, and we love it. We know what you're gonna get: some cool action, good visuals, some good humor, etc., etc. And this film has all that. It's got a decent story. It's got some good moments of heart in there, and that works really well. But there's a couple of things that kind of separate from other Marvel films, and one is a particular way it's shot, particularly some of the action. You're gonna hear this comparison a lot, things to like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, particularly a couple of the fight sequences, even Hero, another Asian film for those who are familiar with that, and so I guess that kind of unique vibe to it. And also, of course, the action itself. I mean, this is reliant on martial arts. We haven't really seen that out of the MCU yet. And I love martial arts. I'm very particular to it. I like to see it well done. And here they hit it out of the park. I think that's something that they do really well, is execute the action scenes. This good choreography, very inventiveness to the action set pieces that are created here. And I love the camera work. The camera moves in and out of the scene, very smooth, kind of puts you in the action. You can see what's going on. I thought that was stellar from them. So, and that's really the main standout of the film, is the action. There's a lot of it. It's well done and super entertaining, and action that we don't really get to see normally in an MCU film here. And in all, listen, it's a good, entertaining movie, but I'm not going to place it as top tier Marvel. This for me is probably second tier Marvel, and that's still not a bad thing. They had some issues with the film. I know a lot of the critics in the initial screenings, they were raving about it, but they obviously saw a different movie than I did. I mean, it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's a very good film, just not a great one. But some of the issues that I had, and they're small, were, like some of the pacing was a little off. The first almost half, maybe close to it, was great, very energetic, well paced. A lot of the best action comes from the first part of the film, and then when Shang-Chi goes to his father, things kind of slow to a crawl sometimes, and it's a lot of exposition, a lot of story, which is fine, but it kind of ruins the momentum the movie had, and it felt like 30 minutes or more of not much going on. So, but obviously into the third act is introduced when something big, and it does occur. Along with that, there's a character in here, a character we've seen in the MCU before. Not one that I didn't enjoy this character back when he was introduced, and I don't enjoy him now. I get why they were in there. I understand it, but it wouldn't bet off this character as just a cameo, but they were in there for a big part of the film. And there's moments with the character that they laugh and all that, but for the most part, it's kind of silly and dopey, and it just kind of took me out every time he's on the screen. It was unnecessary, for me anyway. I mean, it's not Jar Jar Binks level bad, or, for those who watch Bad Batch, Omega or anything like that, but it was still kind of annoyed me, and some fans may agree or disagree with that. And the third act, listen, the third act is uneven. There's a lot of good stuff about the third act, but a lot of stuff that kind of annoyed me and it just was unnecessary. I mean, when it set up the third act, you know that here comes the battle. You know, Shang-Chi's going to fight his father, obviously, and it's going to be the two factions going at it, big scale kind of battle, which I love. And they introduce a lot of fantastical elements there, which I enjoy. But the problem is, they seem to kind of rely on those fantastical elements a little too much. And I don't want to spoil anything, but there's things that you see, big grand things that appear, which I felt are kind of forced and maybe weren't even needed. They could have maybe introduced some of those elements and saved it for something like in a sequel, but just focus on the battle. Could have been some really cool moments from these characters that we've seen throughout the film, and particularly add more weight to the battle between Shang-Chi and the father. This movie has good emotional punch here and there, but this could have really brought it home, and I thought they could have executed a little bit better because, and it's not a Marvel issue, it's DC. It's all a lot of these action films, big films, that they just feel like they have to make the third act so big, and oh my god, and all so much CGI thrown at you. It's a little distracting and unnecessary, and I felt, listen, less is more sometimes. It's okay to kind of scale back. You could have given us a great battle on the ground, a little more grounded, mirroring some of the action we got in the first half of the film. But that being said, some of the stuff does look cool. It's not bad. It's just kind of annoying a little bit much. And it kind of extended that third act about 10-15 minutes more than it needed to be. But listen, these are all small gripes. At the end of the day, this is a fun, entertaining film, which I highly recommend you guys watch. I know Marvel fans are going to watch it. You should. And I realize that not everyone can go to the theaters. I get it, given what's going on. But worst case scenario, this has a 45-day window in the theaters. So about a month and a half upon release, it's gonna be up on Disney Plus. So you guys can hold out a little bit longer. You can watch it there. But this film is grand in nature with the action and the special effects. It deserves the big screen viewing. I mean, for whatever that's worth. But I definitely high recommend for me. Very good, excellent, entertaining film for Marvel. Just not top tier Marvel, not the greatest thing you've ever seen. I know some reviewers are kind of touting that, and I just lowered expectations just a tad. You can have a really good time with this, and like I said, it's a lot better than something like Black Widow and what they gave us there. So, and again, there are two end credit scenes, of course. Kind of give you a quick heads up. The last one, whatever. But the first one's great. The first one, because I like it because it sets up where Shang-Chi is going to be in the MCU moving forward, or more or less. And there's a great callback to a great comedic scene early on in the film that kind of bring that back. So that really worked. That was a great one of my favorite end credit scenes I've seen for Marvel yet. So I was really against it. Kind of a long one too. But that being said, listen, Shang-Chi, definitely go watch it. If you guys are excited about it, are you not? What are you looking forward to? Comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.